historically it was always dirty, dull, and dangerous. That's what drones are for. So in the case of wind blades, they used to have to rappel down out of the top of the tower itself just to check and see if it was a fracture, a delamination, or just, some discoloration. That's time consuming, costly, dangerous.
Welcome to Hangar X Studios, where former fighter pilot and host John Ramstead takes us on a journey across aerospace as it enters an historic period of innovation and transformation. Our guests include aviation experts, pilots, financiers, military leaders, and innovators of all types. Buckle up for another episode of Hangar X.
Today's episode is brought to you by our platinum sponsor, XTI Aerospace. They are powering the vertical economy, building a long-range VTOL, and you can find more at xtiaerospace.com. Now, please remember to like, comment, and share on this channel, and enjoy today's podcast. Welcome to Hangar X Studios, and we are live at the Hive in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And today we wanted to talk about what are the commercial applications. We hear all of this information and news and stories about drones and the drone industries, American-made drones, Chinese drones. But the real question is, how are real companies using drones to solve real problems, for-profit companies out there in the world? And that's why we brought on today Doug McDonald. So Doug, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, John.
And you have iSight Drones. It's a company you founded. And tell us a little bit about iSight and what you do for your customers.
Yeah, sure. So we, drone service provider, that's kind of our moniker. We have about 30 plus pilots.
Okay.
We work nationally, 47 states, 7 countries, focusing primarily on critical energy infrastructure.
Okay.
So that includes everything from wind blade inspections, solar panel inspections, utility poles, cell towers, stuff like that. So, that's 95% of our work.
Okay.
And the rest of it's kind of one-offs. We do construction monitoring. We do thermal, facades of buildings and roofs.
Yeah.
Anything to kind of make a dollar. And typically those one-offs, our operators are out they get deployed for 2 to 3 weeks at a stretch.
Okay.
Send them down to Texas, crush work, come back, catch up with their mail, their girlfriend, their laundry. And then we like to have local and regional stuff for them to kind of backfill, keep their skills sharp, and help pay the lights.
Yeah. So what does it look like? They go down there, they're 2 weeks. Like the drone is really a platform with sensors. How did this work used to be done, and what did the drone do as far as the value proposition for the client?
So typically, let me backtrack a little bit. I tell people we're really a logistics company that happens to fly drones, right? We send a truck out loaded with equipment, generator, multiple drones. We never send out one of our operators without more than 2 drones.
Okay.
The intent is if one goes down and you've only got one, you're done for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So ideally we can hot swap equipment and kind of skeletonize as required.
Yeah.
So kind of keep the ball in motion. The work itself is, collect images using, multiple sensors. For a lot of our work, our primary customer is wind blade inspection. We use multiple LiDAR in aircraft and essentially paint a picture of that blade itself.
So are you combining both the LiDAR and like the electro-optical? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about kind of the technology behind it. Like, what does the customer get? Is there AI involved in the processing?
So typically what the customer gets, whether it's agriculture, wind blades, or solar panels, they want to know what the problem is. They don't need a mountain of data. They're drowning in data.
They want to say this blade is good, or this blade needs this thing right here fixed.
This blade is delaminating at 34 meters.
Okay.
So in the case of wind blades, they used to have to rappel down out of the top of the tower itself just to check and see if it was a fracture, a delamination, or just, some discoloration.
Right.
And then climb back up, get what kind of equipment they need to materials to fix it. That's time consuming,
Yeah.
costly, dangerous. Historically it was always dirty, dull, and dangerous. That's what drones are for, right?
Anything dirty, dull, and dangerous?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you imagine, like in our work with precision agriculture, we're looking at multiple things, stand counts, weed infestation. You essentially just are doing a lawnmower pattern over a field, 40 acres, 320 acres, whatever the size the field is. Typically that used to be done by either farmer walking the field as they advanced on a four-wheeler, and the intent on that one is to minimize the amount of like pesticides or fertilizer that you're needing. So on two fronts: one, it's saving the farmer or the egg producer, money by not putting as much product on his field.
Because I might not need it here, but I need it over here.
Exactly.
And your sensors can say, hey, there's weeds growing. It can actually look at the difference between the crop and something that's not supposed to be there.
Yep. And when you look at the advances in autonomy, there's self-steering tractors, some are, taking the data straight from the drone right to the tractor. And this is a weird thing to say. The best conference I've ever been on was one on weed spraying and nozzle and spray dispersion.
Doug, you need to get out more.
I
just want.
I tell myself that. Yeah, I bore myself. Right. The next other one was about rust. So yes.
Rust.
Yeah.
Weed spraying and rust.
Yeah.
Well, a good friend of mine is the one who manufactures the precision axles for those John Deere tractors.
Oh, okay.
And they are incredibly expensive because these huge plots of farmland, and you have to be accurate going back and forth.
Yeah.
And one of the things you guys do now, which I'm sure enhances that, is some rock mapping. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah,
Which is actually kind of, I'm sure the farmers love this.
Well,
when you have a huge plot.
So I'm born and raised in North Dakota. As a young kid, that was always what are you doing this weekend? I don't know why. Come on out to Uncle Charles's place, and we're gonna do some rock picking. So truly, you'd walk a field and pick rocks up, throw them in an old cart. Now the opportunity is to, again, fly that field. We can break it down by 8-inch rocks, 10-inch rocks, whatever size rocks that may or may not,
Can it see under the surface?
No.
No, okay.
No. We've got LiDAR, we've got sensors
Okay.
that can see a little bit underneath the surface,
Okay.
but this is just straight, what we call RGB, red, green, blue. It's enhanced optical.
Right.
But I think, there, if you imagine the cost of a combine header at $100,000, and if you hit a rock, one, again, you're done for the day. Two,
Right.
you have to call the John Deere dealer and get it fixed. This is a great opportunity to do it. So we've partnered with a construction company. We develop the map, and they go and pick up the rocks and get them out of harm's way for the producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious because, a lot of yours has been focused on critical infrastructure.
Yep.
Right, and there's some big categories, right? We have consumer, we have monitoring for drones, we have security, we have defense. And you talked a little bit before we got started, also delivery is something, right? It could be from my groceries and we've heard about Amazon, but also critical medicines in rural areas.
Yep.
If we're looking just 1 and 2 years out, in addition to critical infrastructure, where do you think some of the areas for your company that are going to probably be the most, the biggest opportunities?
Well, again, I think the term these days is called advanced air mobility, which
Yep.
is essentially delivery, right?
Okay.
So our model is really to work with a larger health system to take required medical supplies, no matter what they are, and take them from the hub out to the spokes. So
Well, I know that's a big focus of the VA.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vets that are in some rural areas. It's hard for them to get their
Yep.
medications.
Well, and you imagine if you're a vet or if you're a senior, if you're infirm in any way, to drive 2.5, 3 hours to get that can be really problematic, right? So hopefully we can reduce that last mile and get it to them quicker, cheaper, easier, and minimize the pain and the discomfort that kind of comes with having to get it. It's also a timely aspect. If you need a pint of O negative blood, we can get it there. So our aircraft, the aircraft we use is actually it's a hybrid aircraft, so it's hybrid in multiple ways. One takes off like a VTOL or a helicopter, and then kicks in with gas motor and goes. So it's electric.
What's the range and speed of that?
7 hours, about 70 miles an hour, so we can cover about 400, 500 miles in one flight.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So you can go there and back.
Ideally, so yeah, we're kind of trying to figure out that kind of concentric circle of service.
Yeah.
To one, make sure that we can get there and back.
Yeah.
And do it effectively and cost effectively, right?
So question, as a business owner, and drones are how you're doing business, right?
Yep.
There's been a lot of talk about U.S. drones, manufactured drones. China has really been one of the biggest suppliers and drivers of not only drones, but drone tech and drone parts, replacement parts, servicing.
Yep.
DJI is a name everybody knows. What are you seeing with some of the changes, globally with just running a company based on drones with what's happening?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so the whole DJI aspect, they are leading the pack.
Yep.
It's a less complex system. If it tanks on you, you can probably go to Best Buy and replace it that day.
Yeah.
And it's cost effective and
they're fairly reliable.
Well, really reliable. And all our pilots, whether it's the smallest one, a Mavic, to the biggest one, we've got an M350 now, which is probably 5 foot diameter. It's a big quad. If you can fly one, you can fly them all.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So on a given day, we'll send out 2 M300s, 16 batteries, 8 full sets, and a generator, and we'll go for 12 hours nonstop, just hot swapping batteries and giddy up and go. With American aircraft, it's a cost and complexity thing. So they're not all made the same.
Yeah.
And the ones that we've liked, and actually, so our big aircraft is American made. That's really cost prohibitive. We have to, again, back to, you never buy one airplane, you always have to buy two. But, for smaller ones that we would use kind of in our space, they go from a $10,000 aircraft to a $25,000, $30,000 aircraft. The biggest problem.
So it's double or triple.
Yeah,
you mean
double
a Chinese
triple.
versus a U.S. made?
Yes, sir. And you have to get all new cameras, all new sensors, all new gimbals.
Oh, they're not compatible?
Many are not, and certainly the gimbals are not.
Okay.
But the cameras, they're also probably made in China, as are the batteries. So batteries is a big sticking point. So we were talking with one manufacturer, and he said, "Yep, we got as many as you want, and they come with one battery." Well,
I need 16.
Well, one battery is barely a hobbyist in my estimation.
Yeah.
You get 25 to 30 minutes of flight, and then have to charge it for an hour and a half or two. It's not repeatable. It's not scalable.
Right.
Again, we send out multiples, and we're charging all day long as well.
So when you said one battery, is that all they have because of supply chain?
Yep.
So if you want to buy a drone and 20 batteries, the answer is we can't do that.
Yep. And to that end, those batteries are made in China. Now there is a company here in North Dakota that's ramping up on battery production, Badlands Batteries. But again, they can't fill probably all the requirements of all the different drones. So it's not going to be, I think at one point they're going to collapse and there's going to be one big company that's providing U.S. drones and that technology. It's not there yet. So it's a bunch of one-offs.
So I got a solution.
Let's talk.
We go find some great entrepreneurs.
Yep.
They come here to the Hive in North Dakota and they figure out how to make low-cost drones because there's a huge opportunity right now because DJI could be replaced by an American company.
Well,
and this could be the headquarters of a revolution of new drone supply.
Oh, 100%.
What do you think?
I agree 100%, John. And to that point, here at the Hive, there is a drone manufacturer. I think their focus is kind of the larger drones, but I think, with service providers, with, comm links and all the different kind of aspects of, it's a system,
Right.
an unmanned aircraft system. So, this is a good spot to be, the Hive, and certainly here in North Dakota, we kind of hopefully scratch a lot of different itches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, it's been great meeting you.
Hey,
Keep
likewise.
knocking them alive, my friend.
Yeah, will do.
And thanks for your time.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, have a great one.
Yeah.